It's your boy Luke here for our round 2 prize picks props for the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Round 1 was at least an average success. We ended up going 3 for 4 for the props on the channel. We had the over on the Jimmy Walker fairways, also the over on Joel Damon's fairways, the over on Matt Fitzpatrick's birdies or better, but the one miss was the under on the card, which I told you guys it didn't feel so good having to take an under there. Our under 11.5 greens in regulation for Nick Watney did not come through, which is just an unfortunate part of playing over there on prize picks. For golf specifically, you have to take at least 1 and 1, 1 over, 1 under, which got us this time around. So hopefully we can go 4 for 4. That would be nice. That would actually let us hit the 5x profit, but can't go ahead and complain with some 1.5x. The beauty is for today, a much better board. We have players from all 3 golf courses, not just Pebble Beach like we got for round 1, also a bigger variety, some studs, some duds. Really there in round 1, we were limited to the guys at Pebble Beach, but also a lot of just not very quality golfers. So glad to see that prize picks came along, really bolstered that board for us. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into my top 4 props. And we're going to go over a few bonus props at the end that I also like on the board. All right, guys, on the screen, you can see the prize picks board for today. You can see our 4-pick card is going to be fantasy point oriented. Obviously, you have to stay in the fantasy point category. One of those also nuanced rules that I have with golf here on prize picks, but so be it, right? We're going to go with it. First off, we're going to talk about Joel Damon, where we're going to be taking the under 70 fantasy score. One mistake I see that they have here on this website here is that Monterey Peninsula is labeled as a par 72. It is actually a par 71. So for Damon, just to push this prop, has to shoot 1 under par at the easiest of the 3 golf courses. Now on day 1, Pebble Beach did play slightly easier than Monterey Peninsula. Historically though, that has not been the case. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're right around the same difficulty going forward, if not a slight edge towards the people playing at Monterey Peninsula. And for Joel Damon, a much better than average player to be at 70 right there is going to make him one of my favorite plays on the slate. Another few people you could consider, Charles Schwartzel, also a relatively good course fit. Same thing with a Stuart Sink, or even a Patrick Rogers. All 3 you could also argue would be really good for the under, all also playing at Monterey Peninsula. Next up though, we're going to touch on Jimmy Walker, who is also in that situation, but his line's at 70.5. That means if he even shoots 1 under par at the easiest of these 3 golf courses, he will hit the under there. So that is also a prop I really like smashing. Sure, he might not be the best player on the board. He's somebody who, in terms of pedigree, really hit his prime 3 or 4 years ago. But over this fall swing and over the last few events to start 2022, has made some cuts, has looked a lot better off the tee. And again, his weakness is on these greens, but the ball striking has always been there, which will lead to a lot of consistency, 1, 2, 3 under type of rounds. You need the putter to get to 5 or 6 under par, but that's not what we need here. We need anything under par to hit the under. So I do like that line there. I think if they were trying to adequately price this, being that it's actually a par 71, it should probably be at 69.5, but let's go ahead and take advantage while the lines haven't moved. Next up, we're going to have Brian Harman, who's playing at Pebble Beach, which, like I said, played as the easiest golf course yesterday. Unfortunately, only 2 guys on the board from Pebble Beach, one of them being Seamus Power, who's over here at 70 fantasy score, and then Brian Harman, who's here at 71. I think taking the under on either of those options makes a lot of sense. So we have Brian Harman in the card here just because he's up here at 71, which means he have to shoot 1 under par to match, which again, he's a well above average player. The average score at Pebble Beach was just over 69 today, which means that he has a lot of wiggle room there. Pretty much can have a below average day and still hit his prop. He can have a well below average day, maybe a standard whole standard deviation above where he's used to shooting, and still end up pushing this prop. So really do like Brian Harman in this situation. Again, it doesn't seem like they priced them adequately. Seamus Power right now is in 2nd place in this golf tournament. He shot 8 under par yesterday at Spyglass Hill, and all he has to do tomorrow to push is shoot 2 under par at the easiest of the 3 golf courses, at least for what we've seen this year, right? Monterey Peninsula, historically a little bit easier, but you guys get the point, right? One of the easier of the 3 golf courses, and has been playing well. Lastly, we're going to stop with Brandt Snedeker, who's the unfortunate over that we have to take, much like with a lot of the other props where we're going to be smashing in a lot of the overs on fairways hit, also with greens in regulation. You got to take an under in those circumstances. We have to take an over here with fantasy score, and we're going to be doing that with Brandt Snedeker. He's playing at the hardest of the 3 golf courses, that being Spyglass Hill tomorrow. That is a par 72, and at the easiest golf course, Monterey Peninsula, he shot a 71 today. That was even par, which isn't all that bad, but again, it was the easiest of the 3 golf courses. So for him to have to go out there, do even better than that at the hardest golf course, that is going to be a fade for us. If he goes out there, shoots 2-3 under par, so be it. We're going to be using these as a flex play. And in general, just from a strategy perspective, guys, you should always be doing flex plays in golf because they make us do an over and an under. It really takes away a lot of that edge because, of course, a lot of these lines we can tell are skewed towards the over, right? So we want to be taking all these unders. That's why I told you guys that there's so many other unders on the board that I like. The unfortunate part is trying to find some overs. So if you're looking to differentiate yourself, you're not completely sold on Brandt Snedeker, maybe you want to enter a second line. Another over that I liked considering was the Nick Taylor. It's right here at 69. He's playing the easy golf course, Monterey Peninsula, but at the same time, he's not a very good player, right? He's right alongside people like Matthew Fitzpatrick and Jason Day. He's getting a huge boost here because he won this golf tournament in the past, but is nowhere near the same type of player there. So even though we got off to a good start, somebody I would consider for an over. Now what I want to do is go over to a few other categories and show you some of the other cards I would consider. We're not going to make an entire card or anything like that, but a few singular props that I really liked. First and foremost, down here at the bottom, they actually, it's still on the board, thank goodness. The Brian Harman over 3.5 birdies or better. Like I said, he's one of the better players in the field. This was playing to an average of 3 strokes under par anyways in terms of Pebble Beach. There's obviously a lot of birdies and bogeys involved when it comes to golf, so players were averaging closer to 4.5 birdies per round at Pebble Beach. I really like that number for Brian Harman. Another number that made a lot of sense to me was further up towards the top. It was actually the Cantlay birdies are better. This 5 right here for Spyglass Hill, it's an aggressive number, so if you're looking to take an under, that was a number I was considering there. Another thing to take a look at is greens in regulation. You're going to want to take a lot of the overs here, particularly for some of the guys at the bottom of the board. Guys like a Kuchar, guys outside of Spyglass Hill, I would say, particularly the guys here at Monterey, taking a lot of the overs either in the greens in regulation or over here for fairways hit, also very lucrative markets. But that's all I've got for today, guys. It's a much better board than what we had yesterday. So as a result, if you want to fire up a few power plays, go ahead and do so, but of course we have to take those overs and unders, which can be a little bit risky. That is all I've got for today's video. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments before you get out of here what your favorite prop on the board is. It doesn't have to be in one specific category. Across all the 4 categories, what is your favorite prop? As always, really appreciate you guys stopping by and enjoying the content. If you haven't already liked the video or subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and do so. We're going to have even more Prize Picks content coming throughout the future, whether it's for golf, basketball, football. When it comes around again, we will have a Super Bowl special video coming out, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. And of course, the regular golf content I'm posting here week in and week out. We're going to have showdown content throughout the weekend for DFS, and of course coverage for all of the tournaments going forward. Good luck tonight with all of your prop hunting. Good luck with your DFS lineups if you're doing that type of thing as well. And let's get this cash.